UFC 311 has been announced, and I'm going to break down some of the biggest fights on the card, starting with Jiri Prochazka and Jamahal. In my opinion, both of these light heavyweights have little room to grow with Alex Pereira as champion. Jiri has already fought Alex twice, and he got TKO'd twice. He fought him once, and he got smoked so bad that he's coping with it, and he's losing fans by the second, talking about it was a cheap shot, and he just keeps going and going and going on a downward spiral. So, me personally, this fight is kind of inconsequential. I would like to see Jamahal win just because I'd rather see a rematch with him than a trilogy with Jiri. It just makes more sense to me. And I do think, John Jones made this comment, and I think he's got a point. Jamahal has better basics than Jiri Prochazka. Jiri is very much reliant on unorthodox and by surprise. That's what he gets you with. He hits you off rhythm, whereas Jamahal, he has the basics and the fundamentals of that 1-2 down really, really good. And I think it's going to land. I think he's going to crack Jiri with the 1-2. We're going to see how he looks. I mean, not for nothing. Both of these guys are coming off major, major injuries. We haven't seen enough from them to see if they've really been able to be labeled as washed post-surgery, right? He had a shoulder surgery and he had an Achilles surgery. Both of those could be devastating. That being said, I still think this is going to be a fun fight for the fans, and I do think it will end in a stoppage. Moving on to Merab versus Umar Nurmagomedov. I'm actually surprised Merab took this fight. He wanted everybody but Umar. I've made several videos on that. Go and check them out. Merab wanted Davison Figueiredo. He wanted Sean O'Malley rematch. He wanted Peter Yan. He wanted anybody but Umar. And he came up with every reason in the book. Why? Talking about, I want to fight more former champions, blah, blah, blah. Umar hasn't deserved it. He hasn't earned it. Well, guess what? We've got it now. And as far as the fight goes, how does Merab beat Umar, guys? Please. Umar Nurmagomedov is not Sean O'Malley, okay? He does not have a big weakness in the grappling, okay? Umar, his strength, he's an MMA guy. He's a complete guy. His strength is everywhere. He's one of those guys. He's not just a one-dimensional grappler. His strength is everywhere. And, where does Merab beat him? Not only is Merab older, Merab is 33 years old at the bantamweight division, mind you. This is not, middleweight where you can be successful into your 30s. Bantamweight, kind of gets tricky after a while, especially when you fight the young guns. If this was Dominic Cruz and Uriah Faber and both guys are in their 30s, okay, it's cool, it's fine. But it's not. It's one guy in his 30s, he's 33, versus a guy who's 28 years old and on the rise. So I give that advantage to Umar. Also, Umar has the confidence of knowing who he is. He's undefeated. He's a Nurmagomedov. He trains with Islam. He trains with Habib. He trains at AKA. All these things. Umar Nurmagomedov is just well coached. He's been bred for this. That's what they do out there, dude. That's what these Dagestan... That's what Abdominop... It may sound messed up, but I personally don't think it's messed up. But he bred these young men to be fighters. Okay, you can't put Islam in a suit and make him an accountant. Okay, he was bred to be a fighter, and same for Umar Nurmagomedov. And Merab, as good as he is, what's he best at? Merab is best at wrestling, and he's best at putting a pace on people, and he's best at hanging on the legs and whatever, maintaining control on the ground. Okay, great, but he doesn't have great finishing. He doesn't have a good knockout punch. He doesn't have a good knockout kick. He doesn't have any danger to him. And of course, this is MMA, and anything can go wrong when you step foot inside that cage. That's why everyone deserves respect for getting in there, because you never know what can happen. However, Merab might be the safest person to enter that cage in. You know what I mean? This guy has no finishes. He might have one or two way back in the day on his record. But for the most part, this guy cannot finish a fight to save his life. And I think he presents really no danger for Umar. And I think Umar wins this fight. Probably by decision. I don't think he finishes Merab. I think Merab shows out enough to not be finished. And he goes the distance. But Umar will win this fight by decision. Now we've got Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan, and to me, this, I could kind of see maybe Arman pulling off a Leon Edwards, and, he lost the first fight, and then years later, he comes back and beats Kamaru Usman. In this case, it's Islam Makhachev. Could that happen? Maybe, but I don't think so. I'm riding with Islam Makhachev. I think Islam Makhachev is going to go in there. He's going to have the better striking. He's going to have the better grappling. And he's going to know who he is. He's going to know that he's the champion. And that's the thing, too, because they talk about this. They say that when a fighter becomes a champion, they gain confidence, right? They finally achieve their goal. And they now know who they are. They're no longer, I wonder if this MMA thing's going to pay off for me. No, no, no. It has paid off. He has the gold. And he knows he is the man. He knows he is the best lightweight in the world. And he knows that he beat Arman years ago. You know what I mean? So I don't know how Arman gets the job done. I know he knocked out Beneil Dariush, but Beneil Dariush was older than Islam Makhachev, and I just don't know how you could look at that knockout of Beneil and think, oh, he could knock out Islam the same way. I don't see it. I think Islam's chin holds up for that. I could be wrong. I mean, we saw what Islam just did with Dustin Poirier. I don't know, man. I mean, that's the only chance that I give Arman is a puncher's chance. That's it. That's all he's got, is a puncher's chance. He's not going to win a decision against Islam. Islam's going to get the job. I just don't see Islam getting taken down and controlled by Arman Tsarukyan. I just don't see it happening. And hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Come back to this video and let me know I was wrong. So, there's that. There will be plenty more videos to come on all of these matchups and more content to come. Always stay tuned. We have a big weekend with UFC 310. Pantoja versus Kyle Sakura. You've got Ian Gary versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. That's my personal main event, and I can't wait, man. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and if you made it this far, if you went the distance with me, let me know in the comment section below whether you agree, disagree, doesn't matter. Join the discussion. Follow for more. Leave a like if you enjoy the time spent, and of course, thank you, because you are all appreciated.